Somebody's gonna have to know this.
Internet check 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 3, 4.
And you got it. Keep an eye on that sound bar. Hurry, I got it. What? But what? It's good. I was watching on the phone. I'm saying, I don't know anything about it. Yeah. You're good. Let's keep an eye on that sound. Have to be the day. All right, great. Thanks. Hurry, you get it. Y'all got the steam scroll at the top. Close the box.
And make sure it's a live document. Okay. It's not like everything has a question. And let me know if someone's fine. Just see. Hey, Titus. Hey, how's this thing work? What are we doing here? Like, I just said it.
Yep, Sandy's already talked about it.
Okay, are you ready?
Yeah.
Can't do that.
Check. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome you here to Miles, Texas, to the Clintlands, what we would normally call the range sale, but because of the fact that we've been inundated with rain here in the San Angelo area, we're going to preview them here at the ranch. We're going to sell them tomorrow at the Miles Young Farmers Building. I'll make just a few comments before they bring them up here. Chance and I will talk about them, and we're going to record this, post it to YouTube, and then y'all can watch it as many times as you'd like between now and 11 a.m. tomorrow when we sell them to you there in Miles. But 1999 was the first year, I think Kyle told me, that they had to sell, maybe 1989. I think I had in my head 40. 99 in here. So you know the reputation. 9 major Texas major champion or reserve champion sheep last year raced right here at this ranch. Expect nothing less than that again this year. It's over and over again. I think I've had the opportunity to sell them 4 or 5 times now, and every year it's the same. Moved off of an incredible one from the Smithwick crew up here to start the sale is lot number 50, I believe. Is that right? Lot number 50. I'm going to let Chance talk him to you here real quick, and then I'll chime in.
Yeah, welcome to the Smithwick family clubland sale here. There's no doubt that this is the most iconic sale in our state for show lambs. It's been around for years, at least 27 that we know of in terms of the way this sale has taken place. What we start with is the Cowboy with the Pole. That's a buck that we raised there at the house that Kyle used. I got the opportunity to come through these the other day and check them out. I was incredibly impressed and excited about how the Cowboys looked. That buck is incredibly stout, and he's so wide. He's incredibly round bodied. He's huge pin and just ultra sound. I think he really went ahead and transferred that into his offspring here. We have one here that there is no doubt. I would nearly 100% guarantee that one there fights for a banner when it comes down to it next spring. His elevation of shoulder, his roundness of body, just how square back that thing is. One that's not going to be out of bounds in terms of weight. Looks like a 150-pound monster that's going to go ahead and try to hang one of them big banners this spring. I've got a little confidence on this one. I'll let Titus talk about it. Don't let him go quite yet, Curry. That's a really, really high-end critter.
Well, the only thing I would add, and we could talk for days about this particular club lamb, and he's going to win things. But I can say from experience at home, the Cowboy Capones are feeding extremely well. They are shapely, they are massive, they are bulky, and this one's built incredible. I'm with Chance. Buy him, take him home, win Texas Major. I think that's where we're at. Lot 27 is next, and it's a mid-March cross by the big glass top buck that I think we sold the first set of those maybe last year here, and they were very well received for all the reasons that this one maybe is attractive to us. Big paws, big fur, tall fronts. Going to pet really, really good. This is lot 27. It'll be the second one through the ring. There's the look right there. We're looking for a current.
I'll say this about the ones out of the big glass cock buck. Last year, I thought that those sheep in the ring, from an aesthetic standpoint, really stood out. In terms of one that had the big toes, they were freaky neck, they had incredible skin, and they just really stood out as ones that had things that were special about them. This thing's featured down low in combination with his neck set, skinniness in neck, and just how broad that one is underneath and how much shape he has for being a skinny guy. Titus, I think that one's awfully impressive.
Could not agree more, and that one will have friends for sure. We're good, Sherry. We're going to 24, which will be our first final sired on the top horn buck, and all these things go back to easy, and whether they're easy sons or easy grandsons. And Kyle told me before we set up today for the preview, the unique thing about Easy is he's sired a Texas Major Champion or Reserve every year except for the one year Kyle didn't breed. And, I think that says a lot about the longevity of that sire. This one's got a big, bold rib cage, creasy muscles. And I'll tell you where I think he's good, where finals are. That one is out on all 4 corners with some boldness to his body and some roundness to his ribs.
Yeah, I think Kyle Lewis, the top horn buck, had 2 or 3 banners last year, including the reserve at San Antonio. And Titus tells you where he thinks that was impressive in terms of his width, the turn to his body, is how busted open he is. But I think what makes it truly impressive is how he's elevated he is at the top of his shoulder still, gives you a shouldering look and that slinky neck. That thing's built for a big ring. We know that when we get to Houston, that ring is big, and they got to have some presence about them. This guy's got all the punch in the world, but man, that thing is just so wild looking as well. I think his lower body balance for a white sheep is extremely good. That's one that's going to be fun. You're just going to go home and feed on him. He's just going to get better.
Followed with another very good final here, and honestly, one that when I went through it a little bit ago, I was maybe the most enamored with. This is lot 4. He's an easy go, and that's an easy son from the first or second land crop of easy, I believe, and one that just looks like the easies. You can't poke a hole in him. He's wide, he's bulgy, his twist is deep, and his side stifle shape is very, very good. Lots and lots of quality here in lot 4.
I think Titus talked on a bunch of the advantages of this one. The things that stick out to me past that, though, are this thing doesn't have a big hole. He ain't messed up anywhere. We've got to really talk a lot about that this year, just ones that just aren't messed up anywhere. That one's wide, that one's sound, that one's good looking. But to go with all that, he's got the power and the punch to pass it past the competition. I think that one's really, really neat.
I agree. We'll switch back into our cross division here with lot number 10. A little bit younger guy, late in March, another Cowboy Capone, and another that, man, he's unique. Extra tall fronted, big shape, really, really big paws. And if he does the things the Capones do, this one could be the bulkiest one of the whole group.
Yeah, if we're going to talk about what's incredibly unique about this one, I think this one's squareness of back sets him apart. That thing's rack sits up there way big. He's huge loin. He's got that big pumpkin turned to his rump. Things that are all going to get you in the top 3. But when we get up there and we start to pet on them and really see separate the men from the boys, this one pet's big. That back is big. And if you don't think rack shape wins sheep shows, you're wrong. That stuff gets you up there all day long, and that's when you separate the men from the boys. Don't look for this one to be a 170-pounder, but look for it to be really, really high quality and in the discussion at the end of the day.
65 will come next. Another cross. This one by the little cock buck, and he's got a little stage fright here, but you see the good in him, and you can see just how tall fronted that one is, just how good that one is in the set to his hind leg and the way that he wants to get out and go. When he does want to get out and go, we're gonna trade Curry in here in a minute. Sheep is being really silly, but I promise you this one's good. I wouldn't have him behind the sale order if he didn't think the same. And I can tell you, he's smooth, he transitions well, he's got big feet. Give him a chance, that one feet.
Titus, you'd have some stage fright too if Curry had you around the throat. Just go ahead and point that out. Hey, Titus talked about this thing. I saw this guy in the back, and my first thoughts were square built, freaking neck, great skin and shape. I think all that thing's fitted. Come to the cell tomorrow, watch this thing run around the pen. As Titus said, he's got a little stage fright, he's not acting the smartest. But hey, if you want them shapely and good skin and good build, put it in here.
And now we're going to go back into the crosses with, 550. Fiala's got horns. 550 is an easy go and really, really tall fronted. That one is just an incredible silhouette. I mean, it's smooth in his transitions, it's balanced, and for a final sheep to have a tailhead that sits that high up on him, I'm in there. This one will think.
Titus, when the boys were howling up, and I was talking to Kyle back there about some little things in the cell and just the way things work. And this thing ran into that group of 40, 45 titles, whatever it is. And he had told me he had messed up numbering, so he made it 550. And this thing runs in here, and that one's as arrogant and as collected in his skeleton as will be any white one I've seen. This one loose is an absolute monster. If you ever seen me judge, I like when the move good. I like him to get out and go. And this one hit me extremely hard. That hip and hind leg is absolutely beautiful. His shape is incredible. His weight distribution is spot on. This guy right here is going to be ultra competitive. I'm not a very good poker player. I think this one.
As do I. And we're going to lot 8. Sorry about the same buck here. As we stay right at, good screw in. Good scary right there. But he got him in the headlock. And, this one here, brings some wild quality, extra tall fronted, big, greasy muscles. Probably got a little more go if you want to be a little bit on the bigger side at the end. One of those classes. Not sure with the judges slate this year, that's a horrible place to be. With a little more bulk and mass and maturity, he looks like he could get it. That one looks awfully fun to me.
I remember being a young 4-H'er and them telling us, to have a dump truck ash, you've got to have a little shoulder and a little neck. I don't think that's the story here. This thing has got all the power in the world from behind. Yeah, he is sleek necked, flat shouldered, tall fronted. That one right there is going to be awfully hard to turn, especially at the end when we're looking for unique pieces. This one's got it.
I agree. This will be 52 before we go back to some crosses. And 52 is my 26. And another one that I think's got some go. And then we'll have some gas, and we'll be able to get out there and go whatever you want. If you want a jackpot, he probably fits that role. And we'll be ready to rumble. Big early cage in this guy. Great big ribs. And another one that might curry a little bit, but you come to Miles in the morning, that one will be impressive in terms of his spread and his bump.
As we talk about that one's muscle indicators, just how wide he is and how shapely. That thing's forearm is out of control. That thing has got a big bulky forearm in him. He's got a really neat neck. Excuse me. He's got some antagonistic traits that are really hard to put in him. I think this was turned to his body, just overall wiggle, making one that fits about anybody, especially our judges this year. I don't think you're going to be able to be a wuss. You're going to be opened up, big chested, and have some arm about you. That one definitely does that. Perry finally spoke nice enough to this thing, getting to stand still a little bit. Good sheep here.
Lot 45 is next, and we'll switch back into the crosses. It's another cowboy component. This is one that I've got stars all over my catalog on. I think he offers some uniques in that if you want to sit on him and go to Houston, I think that works. I think you could also gas him down and be ready about whenever you want it. Just one that honestly is built like a medium wolf in terms of his skeletal quality and the straightness of his lines. I have a bunch of stars around this. My young child will show across.
It's this one to me, just the things that stick out and hit me is just lower body balance, levelness of hip, elevate the shoulder. And then we go back and talk about Capone and just how punchy, stout, and wide those are. I still think he fits those. That one to me looks like he's going to be awfully unique come next spring. Sure, he's getting a little loud on you. There you go, bud. But just one that's top line reach so true. One they can get out of the motor. High quality stock here. Whose underline is second to none.
Lot 9 will be next, and he's buck-sired by the big glass top buck. And I guess one knows a lot of the things that particular buck has done for Kyle. And I would expect this one to have a lot of things. That one's hide is impeccable. You can see his tone and turn and shape from the camera, or if you're sitting in the chairs, you don't need to pet that one to know that it handles like glass, and he has got the big fat legs.
So we've been talking about aesthetics, and I think this one defines that. Kyle mentioned something earlier about sheep's hide or something. This thing's hide looks like he should be in a 60s band. What's that Jack Carpet type deal going on here? That thing is thin-hided. He's got incredible stoutness down low. See that little cut on his side? He think one going underneath the panel. And when you're that thin-hided, it's easy to get a little ding on you. That's a high-rim animal. That one's going to be competitive. That one's going to fight for a banner. Speaking of, though, we sit here, and we have the advantage of looking at the rear three-quarter view. That thing is opened up to big arm and shallow. This thing here fires me up.
41 is next, and Chance, I believe this is the first of the Blue Ducks in this set. And if you paid attention last year to how those fed, they hung a bunch of banners, and not only just from Smithwick and the crosses, but also I believe the Grand at San Angelo was a Blue Duck, correct? And, you know, Kyle went back with the buck again, obviously owns part of that buck, big believer in what he can do. This one, quite frankly, it looks like one that can be ready to rumble at Fort Worth and do some serious damage.
Yeah, you know, Kyle told me he was probably as excited about the Blue Ducks, excited about the Blue Ducks than he has been. This sheep in particular, his length of neck, his elevation of shoulder, his roundness of cage and squareness of chest are just absolutely incredible. I can tell you, I saw this one walk around the big pin. If you've ever been to Smithwick's house, he's got 4 pins here under the barn, and one of them's considerably bigger than the other one. That thing was walking across the pen earlier from the straw over here that he was laying on down to the water trough. And that critter is arrogant and can flat out motor. Good stock here. This one's going to be tough.
58 takes us back to the Fun Wolves, and he is a tight one. Kyle told us one of those champions last year was obviously out of that buck, and you know, we're into one that I think offers a lot of shape and turn, a roundness of his skeleton, and there as he gets propped up, you can sure see the quality. Sheep that I think if he just drive there a little bit, he will. He's acting like a white face, of course. There we go. But just super balanced. Chance mentioned earlier, it just not messed up. This one's in that bucket as well.
That one's not messed up. He's got a big cheek and a neat neck in him. And that one's center body is absolutely elite thing that's out there. One that's not going to be a lightweight sheep that's going to be a bona fide middle, one that's got all the right pieces. No, I think that one, at the end of the day, could be one that we talk about just how incredible his center body is, because it is big.
This would be 38, another tight horn. And another one, I thought that buck did a very consistent job. And I think this one maybe is a little slinkier necked and a little trickier looking, at least my notes were. But man, there's a look right there. I mean, that one, yeah, if you don't got notes on him, you probably need to be taking him right now, because when they get him propped up, he's awfully high quality.
No, he's got all the pieces that we talk about in the show sheep. But we go back to the basics, just being burly down low, and stout and big toed, and one that's got some chest width. I still think he does all those things as well. Things, you know, little wound tied up here. That goes with all that shape that he has as well. Good sheep here. I've been on this guy with confidence. You just be really fired up that I'm getting one here that's ultra dense down low. He's opened up. He has still one that's not ugly when we turn it to the side.
120 will do next, and this one's a Cowboy Capone, and obviously we see Kyle use that buck pretty heavily, and as you see these things come up just one after another, you can obviously tell why. Holy moly. To be 16th, 17th, and the sale order down, and one that looks like this, I mean, I would think there are people that are marking their notebooks that maybe think this is the best one.
Well, I can tell you this. Kyle is not known for making the front of it real heavy in terms of the best ones in the cell. He wants to spread them out. He wants you to look through them all, find the ones that you like, ones that fit your program. And if you like the wide, dense, and proportional, this one fits your program. Because that one is all those things. It just has that extra shot of balance when you turn to the side. Love the way where that one's chest, the plate sits in relation to how his neck shoots off the side of his blade. I think that shoots awfully neat. Don't get stuck on thinking that you got to buy one out of the first pin. I bought one a couple of years ago out of here for a family that ends up second in Houston out of the last pin. So go through the stock. You got to sort them. You got to put an eye on them, because there's going to be good ones sprinkled all the way through this thing.
That's right. Absolutely. We're going to go to a 55, another cross by the little glasscock buck. And again, you can see that hide. You can see the shape. This one is super tall fronted. Really good hind leg running gear on him. Another one, I don't know that you're going to say we're going to be the biggest class all the time, but wherever he fits, he's hunting for blue ribbon.
Yeah, I'll be honest, Titus. I've been guilty that forearm hasn't always been the thing that stood out to me. And I got the opportunity to judge with Sturts at Oklahoma Youth Expo. We talked a lot about it, and I'll be honest with something that kind of stands out to me a little bit more. And today, I think it's very apparent. This guy here, his arm is huge. His neck is long. He's round in his cage on square build. I think that one was a tender love and care and just some time. That one's going to be really, really tough.
Back in the finals here to 66. Is that right, Craig? 66. Just don't let me get out of order. And one that I've got lots of stars around. I mean, this one may be my favorite final. I just don't know where you find that kind of cage with that slinky neck and that quality up front, and then just be that robust everywhere in this breed. Gonna keep it pretty light. That was real high.
He's got all those things, Titus, but he doesn't even hold the skin around his neck at all. He's got piles and piles of shape. This one's going to be easy to feed. This will feed a little water, a little track. Life's going to be good.
48 is an easy, so we want one out of the OG. Here he is. We know how them feed. Sheep is a little older. He's going to have a little maybe bigger feeding window if you want. But let's just be straight. Those out of that book, they all feed. And he looks just like all the ones that we've sold the last 5-6 years through this building that have went on to dot, win classes, win banners. You just know how easy they're going to work.
If you're making them stout down low, tune in here. This thing has got a big set of paws on him. He's big-legged, he's wide, he's big arm. He does all those things while still looking like a show sheep. That thing's up in his chest. He's level on his spine. He's round in his center cage. I like this sheep a great deal. I think this is one that when he walks in the ring, wherever he goes, I think he's going to pull word personally. They're going to think, wow, that one's got out there pieces.
Back in the crosses on lot 53 here, and this one is a big glass cock, and you kind of almost know what to expect when one of those comes in, right? They're going to be very high, they're going to have big touch, they're going to have big paws, and that's what it looks like. You know, that buck does that consistently. There's one that is pretty unique in the way that it comes together. Good big feet, good height, good touch again. Buck just seems to do it very consistent.
You know, he does all those things, and Titus, somebody that grew up showing a bunch of these breed sheep, I tell you, a lot of times it's not the easiest to get those things to touch good. This thing right here pets like $1 million. He is great skin, firm touching, dead level out of his hip. I think this one right here is going to be a heck of a lot of fun to feed on. And one that at the end of the day, he's going to have that extra handling quality that just gets the job done.
Back into the finals and the easy go. There's one of those easy sons. There's so many of those around here. This one is another one that just exudes a lot of quality to me. Skeleton runs the right way, right kind of hind leg, big stifle cheek shape. Go home, put him on a track, push the feet to him, have fun.
You know, in a time that we have to have them so stout that a lot of these things will look a little low-fronted, a little round shoulder, maybe a little fat, coarse neck. You got to have ones that are extra elevated. And this one that we have here has the extra elevation. His chest placement, his neck set, his tall as the shoulder. That one's never going to be confused for an ugly one. That's a good-looking rascal.
Now we'll go back to lot 5, the old Cowboy Capone cross here, and man, again, the mass, the width, the smoothness of lines. This one does it in a great underline. His chest to center belly relationships, really intriguing. Great big feet, super balanced, very good sheep.
I was wondering when we were going to see this sheep. He was in the second pin over here where we ran them all that big group in. I thought this one stood out. I thought this one skin and touch and tone. Head carriage was excellent. I thought his width was next level. When he left you, I just thought that thing looked like a man. This is a really, really high-end weather here.
Lot 11. Next, another one out of that big glasscock buck, and we'll say this about a few of them here, and I think it's unique at Kyle's. You know, you kind of buy whatever you want, right? Like check the box on what your goal is, and then find the sheep that fits that. And you know, I think on this one, all kinds of quality. I do think if you want to stay in one of those smaller classes, you want to try to win class 1. I think he's one that needs to be on your list. Big muscles, really curvy. I don't think he ever gets 180.
Well, I could be wrong, but if I remember right, the champion 5-mile cross in front word last year came out of class 1. He was a monster. And that thing's skull shape was incredible. His chest width was incredible. His shape was awesome. He was a big piff. And I think when we look at this guy here, we see a lot of the same attributes. That thing over there was loose a while ago with pin 3. And I thought, golly, that thing's skull and jaw just looked very barrel-like to me. And I think that's a good way to describe this guy, because he is he's a wide one that just packs tons of punch and is great skin. Good sheep here.
32 comes next, and back into the finals, and another easy go. And I would assume this one has got a lot of friends as well. I couldn't imagine that he doesn't. Round bodied, tall fronted, big muscles.
Yeah, I think that describes that one to a T. Another one, the easy line, they have so much feature to them. They're stout, they're big chested, but still they're ones that are super round in their center body. This thing kind of wants to act smart, but kind of wants to be lazy a little bit. But I think that's one that's going to feed, one that's never going to be deep, round, or a little bit off in terms of balance. I think he does those things extremely well.
These boys will have them broke by the time we sell them tomorrow. 18's an easy street, and this is one that my notes say big, creasy muscles. That was what I thought of him in the back of the barn. I thought he had all the extra shape. And then, man, for a fine one to be that shallow and that driven up in his chest, and that swoopy in his belly, he'd be a hard one to miss.
Well, I wouldn't recommend going down Easy Street if you want to beat this one. That thing right there, that one hits me hard. All the things Titus talked about in terms of chest placement, length of neck, elevation of shoulder, big turn to his cheek there. This one excites me. I think this is a really high-end sheep. That one looks to me one that we got a really cool banner that everybody gets to see tomorrow. I think he'll be on it next year. That one right there looks like a high-end individual whose weight progression is absolutely spot on.
The next one here is 63. Lot 63 here is the next one. Another one that's got the extra big feet, big muscles, big cage, lots and lots of flexibility in what you want to do with it.
Yeah, like you said, that one just reads dense. Another dense, like stout skull, dense structure, big chested, big cage one. That one not going to be 170 pounds, but one that I think about that 130 is going to be awfully hard to beat.
'19's a Cowboy Capone. Yeah, I do too. I think this one is uber special. And I think that this one does some really neat stuff. I don't know. It's not really a Texan. Made me feel like in the last 3 months I could claim at least a partial citizenship. But if I was and I wanted to show crosses, I would be running back right here to put this one in my pair.
God, is that one's the squareness of build, arm, chest width, shape, hip bones. I think that one's as attractive, if not more attractive, in terms of her hip and hind leg assembly as anything in the cell. He does all those things, but still runs uphill. He's neat and active, shallow. But what I like about this guy, I like skinny Titus. I like this guy's green. That thing's just going to get better every day. That one right there, that one hits me hard. Confidence on 19. I think this sheep is next level.
60 takes us back into the finals with one out of easy again. And, he's tired. I'll tell you what he's going to be tired of when he gets to the showing. The judge on him because his back is so big. That one's bulky, massive, big pigs, big muscle, sire hook up and sire chickens everywhere. The work's done. Get after it.
Yeah, I think this one, at the first, I don't know, 3 shows or so we have in the state, 4 shows, he fits the team. Wide, round, athletic, big cheek in it. That one's ate up with shape. Like Titus said, the only thing that one's getting tired of is getting petted on. So make sure you work with that one a bunch. Put in his stamina, it'll be high because he's going to be there at the end of the day.
Lot 12 is an easy street. It'll be our next one that we preview here tonight. Neat sheep here too, and one that if you're into just a little bit extra cheek and you want that extra big muscle down low, here's one that needs to be on your list because he sure got it.
Yeah, this easy street deal here. I think this thing, talking about his muscle and his shape. Titus, I'll be honest, I think just his elevation and flatness of shoulder really kind of separate him. I think this sheep's awfully neat. That one's going to be one deep dynamic, if you will, at the end of the day.
57 will take us back into the crosses. Sorry about Big Glasscock. And another one that if you want to go out early, you want to jackpot, you want to be, I don't know, you want to maybe even go to Dallas in the lighter end, this would probably get you there. He's got some get up and go. He's big rib, he's big muscle, very nice sheep that has a lot of utility.
I don't want to say this and come off as being negative words, but that thing is basic. It covers all the basics in terms of width, in terms of muscle, in terms of punch of rib. Maybe not as out there, so are the aesthetics, but this sheep right here gets a dot all day. Love that thing's width and power.
'56 is our next one. If you're taking notes, slot 56 is a easy street, and hey, just a smart one, Craig. That one wants to go forward. That's half the battle, and he does it in a really good package. And he is exotically built. No, it's 56, right? Yeah, no chest, shoved way up there in his sternum, and it's shoved up in the bottom of his jaw. And a great big swoopy belly, creasy muscles. Jen said earlier he liked them skinny. This one probably is on that side. But if you like to feed on them, the upside is here.
Truth be told, this one looks to me like one of my buddy Cody Cook over there would grab onto and put him out third or in the top 3 in a major all day long because that one's wild looking. He's got the neat skinny neck and great shape. I think that's the kind that it just get better from here on.
39 will take us back into the crosses, and another one by that big Glasscock buck, and as expected, extra bulge, extra shape, dense, as Chance said earlier. Gonna have great big fur, great big legs, pretty good one with just a lot of utility, a lot of feeding window.
You buy 39 here, you need to pray that whoever's judging your show loves to look at them from a rear 3/4 view. Because if they do, you're not going to see. That thing is big underneath. He's big armed. He's round bodied. Thing's got a neat neck in it. One that's still really good in his lower body balance. Nice sheep here.
Top 31 is just our second blue duck, I believe. And oh man, how about that one? Just look at the camera. You see it. That may be his big forearm as big a footed, rough as we can see. It still runs uphill. Still has a great rib cage. Don't take the Yankee long. It might need a little bit of a tail out there before we're all done. But don't let that get to you. That one's got quality to the balance.
You know, Titus always say, you know, if they're real smart, they're probably okay. But if they're real dumb, they're really good. And I watched this one just whip still over here, trying to get him up the deal. And then he put the whip on loop a little bit right now. But that one's pieces are big. That one's feet are huge. His arm is big. He's got a wild look. Whenever he decides to act smart, that thing just hits you really hard. If that one doesn't get you excited, maybe we start showing chickens or something else. Good sheep here.
Lot 13 comes in next, and he's a tough love. And I haven't seen many of those, but we've sold a bunch of them in the last few years that have fed very well. And for the reason that this one's complete. Ain't clarity, height the shoulder, athleticism, look. And then, I mean, if you can't see that he's shapely, you're not watching what we're watching. Boy, God is stacking him in here tonight, huh?
I don't want to be a liar, but I think the champion cross at Fort Worth was a tough love. And that one was shown by the Sprayberry family. They had that thing at Abilene. And, I walked up to him and I told Travis, I said, man, I don't really have a kid that can show. And I don't know what I would do with him, but I would buy that sheep tomorrow. Because he was that good. This one hits me the same way. That one's shape is out of control. He's incredible in terms of his design from the side, his weight distribution, his proportionality. Just tough love did a really good job in terms of the way they fed last year. Good sheep here. Did with confidence. Expect to be at the end of the day.
Lot 80 takes us back into the finals, and another one by Easy. And I actually took some. I was pretty high on this one back in the pit, and he's gonna act like a fool now that I said that. But I thought one that was extra short-bladed, really good cage, really big muscle, and really good skin.
Hey, old Luke here, he's been busting his butt all week, and he's drawn a dumb one here. But that's a good sheep. That thing is round-bodied. He is big cheek, big pin, and wide. Covers all the basics. Come up here tomorrow, watch this thing run around the pen, see exactly how good he is. Nice sheep here.
46 is another fine one. There's another one by the Tideborn Buck, and one that I know Kyle was very high on, and rightfully so. We talked about this sheep as I was making my way through the pins earlier. I think if you're into the ones with the big fur and the gun, he's got the indicators, he's going to have that. Another one that I think is just unique in body shape and roundness of rib. I think that will always set him apart in a group of contemporaries. Or maybe all of them in that breed don't do that. And then he's just tall-fronted, skinny-necked, high-quality rascal.
That one reads Austin all day to me, Titus. I think that one just gets better with maturity. I think this one's wild-looking. With the guys who got doing that deal, you definitely can't be playing from the side, and you can't be playing built. And this one right here, I think his elevation and extension and just his athleticism really lead to him being one that can hit that guy really good.
Do not disagree. Well, we're to 37 now, a final cross. These kids are like, holy, it's hot here in Miles, America. But I mean, it's Smithwick sale weekend, why wouldn't it be, right? Another one by Big Glasscock Buck, and another one that does all the stuff that those others have seen. Massive power, extra dips, really opened up, smooth in his transitions. Good sheep here as well.
Another one, Titus, in my notes, I just put not a big hole. Square built, round bodied, punchy pinned, nice class sheep here that I think is going to be really competitive. Definitely a top three kind of ring. Things go right, that one's going to win a class. It'll look really fault free out there in the drive. Good sheep.
Look at the lot two. He got a little aggressive back there in the pin, but I guess it'll be all right. It bumped the horn, but I'm sure it'll be fine. Lot two's an easy go, and I think another one that gives you a lot of opportunities in terms of where you want to go and how you want to feed one. And I think one that is solid. Like one, you want to buy one that maybe doesn't cost to break the bank, but maybe the sale. Put this one on the list because I think that he's very, very, very good. I hope it don't make anybody upset, but I don't think he's going to be the high seller. And I think he feeds very, very well and does a lot of good stuff.
Titus mentioned that thing's horn. That just shows you that thing's classification is spot on because if they're that wild, and then you got two redheads back here catching them, that probably didn't help things. But good sheep, like you said. It's not going to be our high seller tomorrow, but I think it's going to be one that makes it sell all day. It's that level, he's round bodied, he's tall fronted, and like I said, he's already got a busted horn. You know he fits the 5-year-old model. Good sheep here.
54 is another easy go. We'll let him get, I'll let this one get put together because I was a pretty big fan of this one in the pen. And here we go. I still am as it drives up and at you. Bulky. Lots and lots of curves and muscles. You got a good track dog and you want to sit on one just a little to crease him up. He can make that happen. This one right here could get around the mall with the end.
Yeah, Titus, I think this one offers us some things that are very, very unique in terms of width, in terms of center body curvature. Good sheep here. Like you said, I think that's one that you can push on it. You can sit on it and do whatever you want there. I think that should just gets better with maturity.
61 takes us back to the crosses for just a minute. And another one by one of those two glass-cock bucks. This one's by the little glass-cock buck. And this one has the big muscles. Big muscles everywhere, really broad in terms of his width of chest, his center body progression. His cage is really big. I think another one that I'll probably read that maybe never gets all the way up to the big class. Probably looks just fine there in class 1 or 2, but does the right things here.
You know, I would argue there hasn't been a breed that has hung more banners out of the lower 20% of weights that final crosses. There's been so many class 1, class 2, class 3s. Depends on the show you're at, how many classes they have that the lightweights with. And I think one here that is stout enough and square built enough, unique enough in his body shape, that he'll have a shot. Because that one is dense, is wide, big arm, good sheep here, the square built, go. Luke says that was real smart.
We get back. This is 64, Curry. Is that right? 64. Another easy streaks, just a few of them, but how they feed. And man, I'll tell you, I'm always impressed when I come here and I get to go through them, and and then they win, and you go, well, I should have been impressed, and we're halfway through them, and I know there's sheep that can win breed still. I think this is loud. I think his balance is good. I think his body cage is good, and on top of that, he's pretty darn smart.
I think that one's stifle shape. Absolutely elite. We get this guy growing and some more maturity, and I think that's going to get even more aggressive. That's going to be standing out even more. I think it's neat neck, wild looking. Good sheep here.
Lot 21 will be next by the big glass cock buck, and another one. I've got a lot of stars around. My paper just says bulky and massive next to this one. All the extra width and power, y'all can see that too. And I think, if you believe like a lot of people do, that the Texas major slate of judges will leave them wide and burning, he should be on your short list.
If you like them sissy headed and sissy necked, go to a different one. Because this one right here, as Kyle likes to say, if you ever see Kyle judge the national show, it's usually a term he uses, is this one's built like a Sherman tank. That one is big underneath, it's big arm. I think it's big everywhere. The ultra powerful, good sheep here. That one's not going to get outpowered at the end of the day.
I concur. 17 will be his half brother. This one will wrap all the way around as far as you want to go. And but we had one on this buck earlier, and I talked about how great heighted he was, and they could just tell how great he was going to touch. I feel like this is the carbon copy of it, maybe 2 to 3 weeks later in terms of his maturity. So, if you're looking for a Houston rig or an Austin rig, boy, that one is there. It looks like he can be a lot of fun.
Even Angelo, it just is as good as he is at the ground, how square-toed he is, how big he is underneath. I think it's not a sissy, but he's got a really, really high-quality look. If I happen to be a judge in your county fan, I'll haul this one. This one's my speed. Good stock here. Love this thing, zipping high leg simple.
Walmart.
42 will be next, and he's an easy, and does the easy things, just in terms of quality, build, runs in the direction, good when run, neat chested muscle, just not messed up.
Yeah, nobody wants to sound like a broken record on the whole not messed up thing, but it's really so important because as judges, we don't want to. Sometimes we can incidentally want single trait something just because it's kind of an easy thing when you're sorting through there, especially then when you get under your top 10 at one of these bigger shows. This one doesn't have a big hole. His elevation is elite. His skin's elite. His shape is elite. It's got a beautiful hip and a high leg. This is a high quality show sheep. That one's built for a big ring. Good stuff.
This 62. Is that right? 6. So I was one ahead of myself. I'm sorry. 6 is a tight horn. And I've been very impressed with that sire doing fine, and this one looks like the others. I think where that buck looks to me like he really does well is the extra bold and cheek behind the depth of the rear stifle. And if you're watching online or sitting in the barn tonight, you can see that this one has it as well. They still going to line them up and look at them from behind, and they're still going to pull from that. They're still going to sort that second cut from that. This guy's not going to get missed on that end.
Titus, the great philosopher Shakira, once said that hips don't lie. And this one is big pinned and big rumped and big underneath. That thing's got piles and piles of power. And this white deal, I can tell you, if you don't have muscle, you're going to get left behind. This one's got all the muscle in the world.
Yeah, it's his priority everywhere. I had a Uland one time we show called Shakira. That dates us a little bit because I was in grad school. These kids don't even know who she is, but they really liked her back in the day. 62 is a good one. And he's sired by Easy. And I think another one that, like where you can separate yourself in the final breed, I think a lot of times is underlying quality and just when you get down to the end. Like when you get to the ones that put up muscle and put up width, I think that's so flat and the breastplate can be valuable. If you get to the end of a class of 3 and that's what has been sort, this one ain't getting deep.
Lower body balance is so important to me in terms of balance and just set them apart. But with that, a lot of times we see sheep that are up in their chest but drop out in their plate. We haven't seen one of those today in terms of these white sheep. If they run uphill and their chest is up, their plate's high too. Their sternum is shoved up in them. That thing right there does it very, very well. When we go back and just talk about elite touch and tone, period.
I concur. 35 will be next, and we'll be right back into the crosses and another component. And honestly, he looks like the rest of them. He's a little maybe behind in terms of maturity, skeletal quality, hip alignment, high leg. Take him home, get him some groceries, do your part, he's going to do his.
On the sell order, Kyle's got some birth dates on there or general birth dates, early Feb, early March, mid Feb, you get the gist. He also had some in there that were late March, maybe the first couple of days of April. And I think some of these cowboys really fell into that category. He was pretty pumped about that set as a whole. and wanted to make sure he had more of them in here. This one's opened up, slinky neck, big shape, really, really good sheep.
73 will be next, and 73 will be another one by the finger glass cock, the big glass cock buck. I got big notes on this one too. The big, might say pieces, muscles, big shape. And I think that's what he looks like exactly up there on the block. And forearm and all that are just really good in this one. Very big set of feet, really, really smooth his transitions. One that if you want to go jackpot pretty quick, you can sure do it. And put that thing on the track and be hard on him a little bit. When he creases up, he can win one.
We don't want to just talk forever at this deal. We know we have a bunch of sheep, but I'll just hit the highlights on this one where they hit me. That thing is skull, jaw, bone, forearm, and loin are just absolutely incredible. There's a lot of good things about these sheep, but I think those things, those aesthetics really stand out to me. This is good stock here. Bid with confidence on that guy.
'44 is an easy go, and back into our final division. And I think another one that brings just a really good look, really smooth transitions, tall fronted, high quality. Another one that if you're good with being hard on them and just running the heck out of them, this one can do what you want.
Well, I can tell you that this with Kyle over the years. His goal is to make these things as up in their chest and as big pin as he absolutely can and keep the muscle moving. And I think that the five-wheel set as a whole has been very representative of that. And I think that we look at this guy and when you see big center rib, his up in his chest, his pit bone stout, all those things lead to good sheep.
'75 will be the next one that we have here. 75 is a big glass cock. 75 is a little younger than some of the crosses that we've seen. I think silhouette here is good. Tone and touch is good. Sheep that's got a little go to it. If you want one with a little more up and out look, he can be on your list. But boy, there is a load of quality there.
Yeah, I don't know how the two glass cock bucks are bred exactly, but I'll tell you that these things all give you a strike of pose. It just reeks of quality in terms of ones that run uphill. They're attractive in terms of their hip and hind leg. I think this one still fits that bill along with that, if you will. Nice sheep.
16 takes us back to the final division and an easy go. Another one that I think all that easy line stuff where they've been so good is that underarm quality and that roundness of rib. This one exemplifies it again. Just extra shot of quality that's going to help separate you.
You know, I haven't seen anything an easy go, an easy street, a tight horn. Not one of those that runs downhill, drops his shoulder, built round in his shoulder, not attractive up front. I think that one still fits the bill here today for those things. One that's awfully neat up front, low his chest floor, like his shoulder. Good sheep here.
Lot Warren should be next as we continue on in our preview here at Smithwick's. And this one, I didn't maybe realize when I got here that we were going to sell them in lot number order. That we were going to mix them up. And this guy walked up to me and I thought, well, that one looks like he could start the sale. And I'll stay there. That one is very shapely. That one is creasy and bulky and just great heighted. Like that sheep. I thought he could have started the sale of these.
Yeah, there's obviously a lot of things that Kyle and family have switched up in the sell and not numbering them in 1 through 80 is one of those things. And I think that is built maybe for easiness on them. and also to add excitement to this sale, some of the things they've done. And this sheep right here, if we're talking about being excited in the sale, I'm telling you, don't get lazy when you're going through these pins. You got to be locked in to go through 8 pins tomorrow, because there's going to be 8 pins that have really, really high endless in each one of them. This thing's shape, elevation, just attractiveness for ultra good, high quality rig. That one's going to be something to talk about at the end of the day. And you know what? You can go ahead and just tell your wife that you bought lot 1 and life was good. It might have been a pin 4, but you bought lot 1 by God.
That's right. And then Lindsay will say, what are you buying your cross for? If I tell my wife that, she probably wouldn't be shocked though. I've done crazier things. 49 is here on, he's a component. That's what they look like. Well, I'm not saying it because the guy sitting right next to me raised the buck, or the fact that I've run the heck out of the buck at the house. But it's charging me not to put the component back on my flush list on my use, because this is, they are consistent. They look exactly like. These crosses look just like the blacks we raised out of him at home. And gosh dang, if somebody ain't paying attention when we get to this one, might be high seller.
We talked about not getting lazy tomorrow. Don't get lazy, because this one here has all the big aesthetics that it takes to win a big sheep show. Big feet, square toes, square chested, tall shoulder, huge hips, incredible lower body balance. And I can tell you right now, from where we're sitting, rear 3/4 view is absolutely obnoxious on this rig. This is a high quality sheep here. That one's going to be really tough to turn, but he's going to be one that could be talked about for years to come.
$650. So we had 2 hiccups on the 3. 650 is an easy go, and another one that's pretty darn smart. He's great caged. You can see it on the camera right here. You can't go wrong feeding that one. High quality, really creased up, round body, shallow chested.
I can see some people looking at things the ears and maybe where his fuzz is and think, man, does that one get there? I'll be honest, I've never seen one of Kyle who didn't get plenty furry, plenty dense down low in this white game. And to do those things, to be that round body, still have that good of lower body balance, that's going to be a high quality sheep that feeds. Get stock here, be confident.
23 is a blue duck. And 23 is fun to look at. It's a Be Like Mike right here, 23. 23 is really good. This is a really good sheep with a bunch of muscle. Another one that maybe Chance will disagree with me, and that's fine. But I think another one that maybe you can be a little harder on and not have to just shove, kind of making the sheep to the place you want him to be. But he has the uniqueness in pieces to never be missed.
I can be hard on the buck a little bit since I raised him. Some of those blue ducks can get a little out there. And if you're not careful, they can get a little too extreme. These are the ones you want to buy. The ones that are ultra dense, they're ultra wide, they're bigger in their arm, they're a little shorter body. Because those things are just going to get trickier the older they get. And as powerful as that one is, he's going to need that extra density, that extra width, that extra broadness of skull and jaw there to really go ahead and keep all that power in it. That one's going to be a good looking rascal that's ultra stout.
14 is an easy streak. We're back into the finals. I don't know. You see what I see? Dead level, great big turn, tall fronted, super hind leg, easy one to class. Everything there looks right to me.
The homework's done here, Titus. I feel like this one's easy. You feed him 3 pounds his whole life, you track him 4 days a week, and life is good. I think that one right there is going to be one that's going to be in the top 5 all day. He's got the power and the wit to always do that. Yet still wanted to track it. Like I said, I think this is an easy feeder that's pretty elementary in terms of its type and kind. Good stuff.
$25 is our next one, and that's another blue buck. And Chance, I think, is a realist. He's bred that buck. He knows how to breed it. He tells you, they can get pretty wild looking. Obviously, Kyle got him made it right. These are boxy. They're short back. They're wide bodied. They're big muscle. This one is another one. It's all those things. And the buck that was just anything side champions.
Yeah, blue buck himself. Today, if you walk into the buck barn, looks like a 230-pound market. That thing is just so neat backed and is up in his chest, and his hip and rump looks like he runs on a treadmill for an hour every day. And I think this one right here, I love his stoutness for a duck. I love his width for a duck. I like how short-bodied he is for a duck. That one's going to feed. Once Luke gets the beating on there, not beating on me, excuse me. Once Luke gets this one broke a little bit better, we're going to be really, really excited for this one.
34 takes us back into the finals, and one here called Tight out of the Tighthorn buck that sired the champion last year out of this sale. Balance, smoothness, roundness of body, all of this guy's favor. I think a very, very, very nice one here. Now 60th in the sale order, but one that you can do a lot of good with.
I really don't know what Tyler said. I got to listen with some guys about how good this set was, just the depth of them. They were telling me there was one coming up here in this pin that looked really, really good to be this low. And, he's going to be hard to beat on, if you will. But this one right here, just looking at it real quick, I just think big loin up in his chest, deep neck, good stock here that's really, really deep shoulder. Let's go ahead and bet on this guy. No, we're going to show sheep that's not going to be ugly out there.
78 will be our next one by Easy Go. '78's an Easy Go, and 78 is awfully unique. Chance talked about one earlier, no fold at his neck, perfect hided. But that was my notes on this guy when I went for it. Incredible skin. Good touch, tall fronted sheep that I think can be fun.
This guy here on my notes, it just says shape, shape, shape. And that one has those things. I think that's one that if you're not as keen on exercising, you can get on this guy. You can feed him hard. He's still going to have a neat neck, and that one's going to pet good. Good sheep.
51 will come to us next. And 51's a tough love, which I believe that's the buck he owns in Tanner. Yeah, and this one did a good job. Both here and at Tanner's on medium bulls. That was a buck that they bought together. Did a very nice job. And I think that this one exemplifies what that buck does in terms of just balance, smooth at the lines, and being really, really complete. I think this one, lot 51, that's where he fits in.
My notes on this guy read big cheek, skinny neck. I don't think those are ever bad things. Especially when we're talking about balance. There's a lot of those things that come within that always lend to being higher quality, better balance sheet. I think this is a really nice one here. A really neat ugly line.
$29 is another tough love, and this one was maybe even a little uglier than the last one, just in terms of roundness of shape and side stifle shape, just bulk everywhere. I think if you just want to get fouled because you're thick, this one should be on your list.
This one hits me as top 3 Class 2 San Antonio, Texas. Gonna handle like a dream. Gonna have a big pumpkin rump in it. Gonna be wide, stout, and powerful. We'll see. A lot of times you get on the top 3s and when it comes down to luck, it comes down to the judges' opinions on smaller things. But in terms of what it's just got the power, the moderation, and the width and the cave, it definitely fits the bill.
Lot 7 was our next one. Sorry about the big last top buck. And If you haven't figured out that I think the sheep out of that buck are really good hide Indian, then I'll say it again. This one's skin and tone and hide is very, very good. And I think that I think another one that if you're okay, maybe being class 1, what's wrong? And, put your kid in the sale. And maybe I'm wrong, and I haven't fed a lot of crosses. I've fed a lot of white sheep out of cross mamas, but I've not fed a lot of crosses. And maybe missing completely. But boy, I think this is one. If you're okay being on the light end, he could look awfully special there.
Kind of, you could say that some of those sheep were pure enough. Sheep here, I just talked about the glasscock sheep and their skin and touch. You know, that's really hard to put in these sheep. But it's even harder to put big feet on them, big fur, have crazy good skin and crazy good touch all together. Those things just don't fit. Those are antagonistic traits that don't fit together. This one does that. He's wide, he's punchy, he's powerful. Good stock here. That one's going to be really, really fun to feed.
Back to the Blue Ducks in lot 71. Curry getting put together because I got really good notes on him. Like really good. This one can go as early as you want to. You want to be ready to go and go have fun and gather some trinkets and get your show and get some buckles. You're going to do it, get a little reputation behind him, and take it wherever you want because he is one massive critter. He's not going to get overlooked.
Yeah, I agree with that there, Todd. This is the Blue Duck, correct? Yeah, another one we just talked about how they need to be a shot stouter. They need to be a shot wider and just denser as babies because at the end, they're not going to be better looking ones. I think that's the same deal here. Like Todd has said, you want to push this guy, get him ready to go in class 1 at Dallas, do it. You want to hold on to it, get him ready to rock, Fort Worth, Simmons, low San Antonio. I think he'll fit all those places. That thing right there has got all the mass that we needed on.
Back to the finals on lot 74. What I know is that my buddy Kyle knows how to breed whitefish sheep, and he must like Tighthorn because there's a bunch of them. And I know that he knows a lot more about it than I've. He's forgotten more about raising fine wolves than I'll ever know. And but I'm not sure why this one's this far down the order. That silhouette, that hip, hind leg. I had this one pretty good ways up on my list of these final sheep.
I'll tell you why he's that far. It's because Kyle's a purist and he likes to sort through stock and find good ones. And this one's down here. And at the end of the day, he wants one there that's going to be shiny in every pin. And this one's shiny. That one's shape is out of control. His elevation of shoulder, length of neck, chest placement are absolutely incredible. And we back here, we still got an advantage in terms of rear 3/4 view. That one is big, punchy pin. And got a beautiful hip and hind leg. I like this sheep a lot. I can tell you, when Kyle watched them shear that one off and the one came off like butter, he got real fired up on that one. As he should. That one will make him stick around, and they need to. 26 is an easy. And 26 is everything that easy is. Both mass, density, in a well-balanced package, and another one that you could sure say just has lots of blood. As the bear is turning to drive at me, I mean, his spine here. That thing's chest is stupid. That one is big underneath. He is square-chested. He is bold caged. That thing is built like a barrel when they talk about ones that just come at you. But he is one that you turn to the side, and he is ultra attractive. In terms of his elevation, his shoulder, his length of neck, good sheep here.
Back into crosses with lot number 3 is our next one. I think extra forearm, extra punch, really boxy built, really good rib.
This thing right here, I dig. I think we just talk build from the ground up. That one is big down low. He's big toed. He's square toed. More importantly, he's big chested. I think he's got a little notch on his tail there. Let's feed that guy, see how that fills in. Maybe he needs a little tail job, but that's a high quality sheep that's big in the center part of his body. He's got a neat neck in him. I think that's one of those ones that honestly, sitting down here, if you get lazy, you're going to miss a really, really good sheep. And that one right there looks to me, he does all the right things. He's definitely winning a class at one of these major shows. The big determining factor is going to be if he got enough just grow and just out there enough to hang the big banner. But that one right there is awfully high quality.
Yep, just reading those statements. And I'll tell you what, before we get on to 59, there's a whole lot harder things to fix than just a couple of vertebrae off his tail. And that's becomes our limiting factor. This is a 59, right? 59's going to make Glasscock button. Sound like a broken record. And there's that onion hide shape again. And I think that this one has kind of a glittery look to me. Probably always sticks out for his silhouette.
You know, Kyle started buying those Dennis Loose bucks years ago and fell in love with their skin. And bucks like Smoothie and 38, 44, and some of them things just were so dominant. There were some of those things that maybe as babies didn't look as out there, but their skin was wild, their loins were big, they had just lots of aesthetics. I think that's what fits the bill here. This one's got big pieces, it's got great skin. Those things fed into champions. I watch out for this guy. He's got some wild parts.
'28's an easy. 28 is an easy, and looks like the easies. Extra high quality, really balanced, really tall fronted, big cage, big muscles. Just another one. Lots and lots of fun to feed.
From this one's last rib forward, he excites me a great deal, Titus. I think this is neck and shoulder, chest placement are all extremely good. Study him down low. He's got big feet. Watch the power come to this guy. There's not going to be one that's been looking. This is a really good sheep.
43 will take us back to our final cross division. He's got to be a good livestock. You can, I mean, you can just see their hide and skin in every one of them. This one is balanced. He's tall-fronted. He runs the right direction. Tallest part of his body is the top of his shoulder. Everything transitions right. A good hind leg, a good running gear. One that, I think, like you said about one of the finals earlier, I think this one's easy. 20 pounds a day. That's how I read this one. Like, there was no guesswork. Just give him 3 cups of feed, put him on the track, get it done.
Yeah, I think that's very true. Me and Side Sticker the other day were talking about the year that the Grand Reserve in Houston come out of, I believe it was the top of the rock sale. They were both really cheap. And then they daylighted Houston. And I believe Kyle had like 9 of the top 10 or like 19 of the top 20, some wild statistic there. And I think this is another one that could go ahead and go to that statistic, if you will, and live to that in terms of what it's good shape, he's good neck, he's going to be easy feeder, good stock here.
79 is by the little Glasscock buck. '79, another final cross, obviously. Right length of body to feed, good caged. I think you got a lot of options. And Chance talked about one earlier that, don't like them. If you like them sissy-headed, then you're probably out. I probably throw this one in there as well. And I think that's going to lead to just extra width the whole time.
This thing here is going to be a man. And I think come the middle of July, you better be getting up in the morning before it gets hot and get out there and run your sheep. Because I think if you do that, you put in the extra effort, the extra time, this thing can turn into one that is one that you talk about at the end of your kid's show career. Because that thing is so dense, so wide, so square built, boxy. Each all he needs is a little love, a little exercise, and just be committed to that. I think that one will get really good.
72 is an easy go. Hey, we're in the last 10 of them, I think. And man, they just, we're in the last 10 of them, and I know how that's going to work because I know how Kyle likes to do this. It'll be a couple of heaters in here. Maybe this is the one right here. Holy moly. Look how that thing runs uphill and that extra turn of stifle and shape. I can see the crease in his back from the chairs we're sitting in, Chance.
Yeah, I think that we've got the best seat in the house, Titus, in terms of our angles, and we can see everything that's good and bad about them. And I think this guy, when you talk about just crisp shape, I think that fits this one. This one, from where we're at, all you see is stand-up back shape, big square shape up there, big turn to his stifle. Good stuff.
67 will be the next one in here. There's a little glass cock, fine little cross. Another one with the big pitch down his top and a great big upper hip. And I think in a day and age where firm and fuzz and size matter, he has that all going for him.
Even if you want to slick it off for some wild reason, Titus, this one right here is still going to be stout down low. That one is rugged, he's wide, he's big armed, he's boxy. Good sheep here. Another one that I think is a sell hole maker all day long. You just got to get up and do your homework.
33, stay high with those crosses, another tough love. There's the one. That's the one. That's the one they're going to make him wait on. Maybe there's a few more, but that one right there is high rate. That's all I got. Whatever you want to do, whatever your budget is, whether it's $2,500 or $25,000, if he falls in it, you better own him because you're going to get beat by him.
Yeah, I think what's so unique about this guy is he's stout, he's wide, he's tall fronted. But, we're all talking about what make him shorter back and taller fronted, do all these wild things. I've never seen a short body sheep put a sheep show. You put this thing out there in the big ring in Houston, and I think that one just stands out and glows as a high quality sheep. Wild skin, big down low, deep looking up in his chest. Good sheep here.
22 is our next one, and easy go, and maybe he saved a couple. Skinny neck, big ribs, runs the right way, all the muscle. I'll tell you what, I thought this before I wrapped him up on the block. I thought it was the deepest set. Then I've been through here, and everybody else says that. I get it. Particularly here, the auctioneer, but it is. This is the best set we have sold for Smithwick, and yet we've sold all the champions.
Well, not only all those champions, Titus, but the number of cell makers that come through this cell is absolutely extraordinary. That one's shape is big, he's wide. I'll be honest, I got ADHD. This thing coming next, his feet got me distracted. So let's go ahead and move on to him, but I love this guy's shape.
Yeah, I caught a glimpse of the 56 coming up that block, and I was like, oh man. And yeah, I'm still there. Like, oh man. Oh my. This is an easy go as well, and like I said about that cross a little bit ago, right? Just hang in there and do what you can do and try to feed him.
Big feet, little chest, tall front, big hip, big rump, build confidence. That one's going to feed. That one's got the pieces that jump out and hit you fast.
So it's the next one. Big glass stock with the big paws is what I've got written on this one. And yeah, let's go. Like, I'm feeding, tracking, get hard on him just a little bit at one point in his life to get a little stretch. And you just don't see crosses that bulky in that level.
Yeah, this thing's obviously not going to be the biggest sheep at the farm. I haven't looked at the sheep to see his exact birthday. I'm guessing he's a little younger. But stout, dense, wide, big arm, incredibly proportional from the side. I have a feeling I know I kind of roll this one down to where he is, but I like that sheep a great deal. That one is really, really high quality.
15. 30. I got one ahead of myself. 30. Big glass got here, and same deal. I think it's almost the same as the last one, right? Maybe we got to be a little hard on him at some point, but once you do that, man, he's just so good in his lines, and he's so wide. I don't think he ever gets missed.
Oakley's sitting here beside me, and she told me she doesn't eat dinner off his back. That thing's back is absolutely huge. The way his cage comes off the top side of his cage, of his spine, is incredible. This thing is powerful. He's wide. We talked about all these aesthetics that I'm hung up on and I love. But let's be real. We have to go to the basics. They got to be wide. They got to be powerful. And that's what they got to do to make the sale. That's our first goal in the state of Texas. Make the sale, what a class, breed. We'll get to the big drive at the end of the day. This one starts and stops at this basics. It's wide, it's punchy, good sheep.
15 will stay right in those crosses with another tough love, and that last tough love is going to make some people think about buying this one. And the same kind of sheep, I think, the same kind of muscle, the same kind of bulge, and just manage him correctly, get it towards the top end, see where it lands.
Yeah, I'll be honest, this guy looks to me like when you feed hard, you feed him for a while, you get him in that heavyweight cross class at Houston, you put him in the cell. That's what this one hits me as. One that's tall fronted, one that's got some cage, one that's got some width. Maybe he's not as aesthetically out there, but another one, the basics we like his width. Nice sheep here. I think this guy dots all day in Houston, Texas.
68 is next. '68 is a tight one. And like I said earlier, when Kyle likes them, he brings a bunch to him, and there's been a pile of them. And it's because of the extra look. I'm sure after looking through the set, you can see the skeletal quality, how upfronted they are, how good rib they are. This was the same deal.
Yeah, you say the extra look, and I'll be honest, I'm hung up on this thing's neck. He looks like we go to the Abilene Zoo and feed him lettuce with the giraffes. It is out there. It's wild. I love his shape. Nice shape.
77 by the big glass top buck. As we get down to the end, I think a really, really unique one to be here. When that one props up, he's high quality, he's level, he's dense. Looks like fun with the feed.
Now, what's better than one lucky number 7 than book 2? We got 77 here. This thing's wide. He's shapely. He's got a big curve to the center part of his body. This is a good sheep here. I'll be honest. I think this one makes it sell all day long. Another one that might need a little couple of vertebrae taken off its tail. But I'll be honest. That thing looks like he might have just bumped it. We're a little swollen. This is a good sheep here. Love his touch. Love his tone.
70's the next one. An easy go. 70 here. Not easy go. Extra shot of the up and out. And that one may be just as tall throated as any we ran through here today. A little more immature, which is fine. We got a long time before we got to show him. When he gets there, he's fine.
You think Kyle named that sheep Easy Go because of the George Strait song? Maybe so. Like Titus said, this one is not ready to go today. I think this one's a green. He's skinny necked, he's shapely. Push on him, feed on him hard. Don't be scared to feed on that sheep hard all summer long. See what that thing turns into.
2 sheep running in our preview. About 47 is the next one, by little glass cop back into the crosses, and another one that looks like all the ones out of that buck. Just real well balanced. Real high quality, real complete.
That one there, he hits me. His center cage is incredible. Dead level, freaky neck, there was one of those earlier that I got real fired up on. I don't know what it is bred like, but this one looks a lot like Paramount's just basic build, square, bed level, good sheep here. I'd pick on that one to make the sale all day.
And the last one of the night is a cowboy Capone. Yeah. We went with lot 69, sided by Capone, and looks like a lot of the other Capones. Extra furry, well balanced. Stick around by the last one. Let's tell the good story because that one could be as good as any of them.
I love a good story, and I think this one could do that. Just the leap in terms of his density down low, in terms of his width and his cage and his mash. I think the set today has been really, really good. I think, Kyle, we talked about this one day at lunch about doing this still and letting these kids show these sheep and previewing them. And I think it's a really, really neat opportunity. I believe he's the first guy with the finals and crossings to do it. We urge you to tune in and watch this. But more so, we urge you to drive to Miles, Texas tomorrow morning to the Young Farmers Pavilion. Sale starts at 11. The sheep will be there at 9. I think the set is world class. We talked about all the banner hangers. At one point, Kyle had a stat of how many banners they'd hung over the last 10 or 20 years. And I'll be honest, if he told you that number, there's no way you would believe it because it is so astronomical. And the success that has come through this program and these sales is so out there. Come through these things, dig through them. We've talked about not being lazy all day when you dig through these sheep because there's good ones in all of these pens. And I extremely urge you to go ahead and dig into these things. Set them all up. Show them that's a good set of sheep. There's going to be piles of banner hangers. But more importantly, this still is driven on cell makers. And the percentage of these sheep that'll make it sell will blow your mind because it'll be absolutely incredible. They'll have live bidding on next gen online sales. If you have an issue, you can reach out to one of our sales reps or me or Titus. We urge you to get on there, log on, get a number. The set of sheep is incredible. I'll let Titus finish you off. But we thank the Smithwick family for letting us put this together and do this. We just hope it all goes well tomorrow.
Absolutely. And the only thing I would add to what Chance said is if you caught part of this preview and didn't get it all, if you want to go back and see any of it, we're going to download it to YouTube in just a little bit. And then on that watch live preview button on the Next Gen site, we'll change that link out to where it'll drive you right to that YouTube video. Or if you're here with us tonight and you want to regroup at your notes, you can do it that way. We'll probably stick around right here at the barn. Upload it to YouTube, get that link chain, before Cannon and I head back to Angelo. Thank you for being with us, trusting Next Gen Sales. Appreciate the Smithwick Bloodlambs family for letting us do this. I know it's definitely a different approach than they've had in the past, but we sure are excited to do it.